As Emmett O'Connor records the London official reporting, in all my experience, I have never known a time when there has manifested itself a deep desire to help any union in dispute, as there is among dockers both in London and the provincial ports towards Dublin. We have had to rearrange the whole of our paid officials in London, placing them in certain centres with the express purposes of preventing any disorganised move. Larkin's continued appeals to the rank and file prompted the union leadership to take a stronger line against Larkin, and by the time the TUC held a special congress to decide its tactics on the lockout in December, it was clear that support amongst the leadership for sympathetic action simply wasn't there. Even those closest to Larkin, people like Ben Tillett, were steadfast against the action. Congress voted to continue its financial support and lend its assistance in leading a settlement, but clearly support had begun to ebb away. Strikers began to trickle back to work during December, and by the 18th of January, the lockout was officially brought to an end. Ultimately, the lockout was disastrous for relations between the British and Irish labour movements. But if the British labour movement was not prepared to endorse sympathetic action, their support was worth a damn sight more than anything, which came from Irish politicians who were either silent on the lockout or vocally opposed to the strikers. If the Irish leaders saw the British union leadership as too cautious, this shouldn't overshadow the class solidarity which was so clearly evident during the lockout, especially among the rank and file. Between September 1913 and February 1914, a total of £150,000 was donated to the lockout fund, and of this, 2/3 came from British workers. At a time when Dublin trade unionists were callously abandoned by their fellow Irish men and women, the support of British workers illustrated more than anything who Irish Labour's friends were, and perhaps as importantly, precisely who they were not.